Frank, you had a gig going at Burnley, a team at the top end of the Championship, pushing to get back into the Premiership. From the outside, looking at a very attractive proposition. Why is this your choice now, and why Rangers?
I think the main thing was the manager and David. I think we've got the relationship that we've got. We think we've got a formula. It's worked well before at Brentford, and I just, even though we're two mates, that's not the most important thing. It's whether you can work with people, and I know I can work with them. I had a great time at Burnley. I was only there 4 months. I left, on really good terms, and I think they were happy with the work that I'd done. We'd signed some good players there. But the pull of working with the two boys and coming to a massive institution like this was just, I couldn't turn it down.
How far behind the Rangers were they should be in your eyes for a club of this standing?
I've only been here a month, so probably a little bit behind on the scouting network because we haven't got one. So there's a lot of work to be done on that. I think certainly for this window, I'm just going to really concentrate a lot on bringing 1 or 2 players in and then look at the scouting network. But there's a lot of work to be done. The one thing that we like to do, and we did it at Brentford, was we like to build the club up from the bottom, and really surprised to see the academy, unbelievable place. I like it being with the first team set up as well. Craig and the staff are doing an unbelievable job. I think there's a number of players in there that will play in the first team, and as Mark and David and I, we want players to come through the academy. We want young players. We've got a massive heart to play for Rangers. So really excited by that.
How comfortable are you with the resources you'll have to work with as a team to bring players in? Because I'm sure you would have had discussions before coming about what would be available. Yeah,
it's still in its infancy of, we're discussing that every month. I'm happy to just crack on with it till the window finishes, and then I'll be knocking on the door, and we'll be putting something in place properly for the summer.
Is it going to be a challenge, Frank, bringing players or attracting players to the Championship in January, or will they look at the likes of the players who came in the summer and see how they've got on here and what the potential is?
Yeah, I think the Championship is it's easier for us to go to the likes of the bigger clubs and get players on loan to come here. What can you actually give the player? You can give them working with a manager and assistant manager who know how to develop players so that the clubs are happy with it. Unbelievable training ground, magnificent stadium, fans who are nuts, and 40, 50,000 at home games. So that's what we can bring. We can bring from the clubs down south. And I think as a club we have to go for the best players we can. So you don't always get the targets you can go for, and I've always said to the manager, it's not always the player that you want, it's the player that you can get. And obviously the higher you're playing, if you're playing, if we did get up into the SPL, you're right, it will be easier to get better players.
I know you said your focus is on the next window, but how important is the aspect of the job of building that scouting network and leaving something behind when this management team inevitably leaves at some point?
Yeah, we have to do our job properly, and it's it depends what finances are available. If you've got £1 million, which some clubs down south spend on the scouting network, it's easier. You get better people, you get more coverage, you can watch more players. Ours isn't going to be £1 million a year, but we will bring in the best people we can, and I'd sooner have. I'm not that bothered about having a massive scouting network. I'm about having good people, really. So if I can get 2 or 3 really good people in who we trust, I'd be happy with that.
Can you tell us a bit about your background with Mark and why you think your relationship works so well together?
I've known Mark probably 10 years or something like that. I was involved with the Next Gen tournament that he run. We were the first club to commit to it when I was at Liverpool. And I remember when I was at the academy, he was actually academy director at Watford, and we had a tournament at Liverpool, and I invited Mark up. And I always remember going into the changing room at the end of the game. They played their Hungarian team on the first team pitch when the Liverpool used to come to the academy, who played on the first team pitch. And I went into the dressing room, I said, Warbs, that is the best performance I've ever seen on that pitch. And it was. And the lad, I said to the lad, you should be proud of yourself. And he still plays football the same. You know, I'm watching the game there. I wasn't there Sunday or Saturday, I was away at a game. Watching the game there, some of the chances that they create and the football that he wants to play because the way he's been brought up, it's just, I love it. You know, so.
So that relationship just kind of stemmed from your shared beliefs?
Very much so, and you know, he is, I think he's been a visionary, you know, in what he's wanted to do. David's pretty much on the same wavelength as I think, you know, I help with that as well. But yeah, that's, you know, it is a shared belief, I suppose. And
your time at Liverpool, I believe you were involved in bringing the likes of Raheem Sterling through. How big a moment was that for you? Yeah,
that was a hard one at the time. You know, there was a lot of clubs who wanted him and a lot of clubs who didn't want him. So it was what we had to offer him to get him to the club was a place where he liked. So we had to feel comfortable there. Are the people, you know, going to help you? And we got that. Will we pay the money to Queen's Park Rangers? Which we did, and they've made more money again, so it's worked well. But the biggest thing that a young player wants, a top elite player, he wants a pathway to the first team. So all the things, the money and everything that you can give them, the cars, the wash bags, everything that they have, the main thing that the top players want is a chance to play. And you don't know till he play, you know, even with him, we thought he was nailed on, but till he actually goes out, like, you know, our place here now, when you play in front of 40, 50,000, you know, can anyone do it? And he was one who just pushed on, and I watched him Sunday playing for City, and I thought, the kid's getting better and better.
You've come up from down south, Frank. Do you believe it's important that Scotland is part of the market that you're looking at, young players, established players here?
Absolutely. You know, that's the first place we should be looking for is here. Whether, obviously financially, it's a little bit easier than down south. Are we going to get a player from the Premiership down south? Probably not. So it's massive that we not only look here for the first team, but look here for the academy. We want to try and, you know, produce the best players for our club, whether it be academy or whether it be in the first team. And obviously, the more players we've got playing from Scotland, the better.
Frank, you said you got here there was no scouting network. How long does it take to catch up? I mean, can that damage go on for years still, or can you catch up quite quickly with the guys? You know? I think we've got, you know, I've got a pretty much a blank page at the minute. There's me at the minute, so that's all there is. So as long as I can get better people in, and I'd sooner grow it slowly rather than bring loads of people in and lose the quality. So, you know, I've still got the manager helps with the scouting, Davey Weir helps with the scouting, the analysts are going to be more and more involved. So I think we're all right, but I know we need to improve and we need more people in. In a way then, because you've got a blank page, is that almost easier? You can shape it exactly the way you want?
Yeah, and I can get the blame for it as well. So it's one of them where, you know, hopefully you do it correctly and the club pushes on by having good people in.
You mentioned that pathway that young players want. Is that something where Rangers perhaps are at an advantage? Perhaps the route to their first team is easier than a Liverpool, a Man City, a Manchester United?
I think it definitely, yeah. You know, one thing with this manager, it's an open door for the young ones to get in. He's desperate to play young players. So we're not going to bring any players at any time we don't think are going to play. So, and he likes younger players. You do need a good mix as well. You're not going to, you know, someone famously said you can't win anything with kids. So you do need experience in there, and we've got some experienced players here that'll help them.